Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. जय राधा वृंदावन बिहारी, राधा वृंदावन बिहारी राधे। जय राधा मदन मोहन ललिता देवी, राधा मदन मोहन ललिता देवी। जय गिरि गोवर्धन, गिरि गोवर्धन, गिरि गोवर्धन, जय गिरि गोवर्धन। जय गौरानिताय, 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 जय गौरानिताय। जय जय प्रभुपाद, 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 जय प्रभुपाद। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य श्रोतर्षत हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस ऐसी भक्तिनाथ स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णविंद की जय। नामचर श्रीदास ठाकुर की जय। कंतराज श्रीमद्भागवतम की जय। निधाय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna. So we'd like to welcome all the devotees for today's morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. We are reading from Canto 7, Chapter 7, which is entitled What Prahlad Learned in the Womb. Text number 55. Etavan eve loke अस्मिन् पुंसः स्वार्थः परः स्मृतः एकान्तभक्ते गोविन्दे यत्सर्वत्र तदीक्षणम् एतावानेव लोकेऽस्मिन् पुंसः स्वार्थः परस्मृतः एकान्तभक्तिर्गोविन्दे 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 यत्सर्वत्र तदीक्षणम्। माताजी। एतावानेव लोकेऽस्मिन् पुंसः स्वार्थपरस्मृतः एकान्तभक्तेर्गोविन्दे यत्सर्वत्र तदीक्षणम्. Word to word translation. Etavan, this much, eva, certainly, lokesmin, in this material world, pumsaha, of the living entity, swa arthaha, the real self interest, paraha, transcendental, smritaha, regarded, ekanta bhakti, unalloyed devotional service, govinde, to Govinda, yat, which, sarvatra, everywhere, tad ikshanam, seeing the relationship with Govinda, Krishna. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. In this material world, to render service to the lotus feet of Govinda, the cause of all causes, and to see him everywhere is the only goal of life. This much alone is the ultimate goal of human life, as explained by all the revealed scriptures. Purport. In this verse, the words Sarvatra Tadikshanam describe the highest perfection of devotional service, in which one sees everything with reference to Govinda's activities. The highly elevated devotee never sees anything unrelated to Govinda. स्थावर जंगम देखी न देखे तारा मूर्ति सर्वत्र है निज इष्ट देव स्फूर्ति. The Mahabhagavat, the advanced devotee, certainly sees everything mobile and immobile, but he does not exactly see their forms. Rather, everywhere he immediately sees manifest the form of Supreme Lord. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, 8th chapter, 274 text. Even in this material world, a devotee does not see materially manifested things. Instead, he sees Govinda in everything. When he sees a tree or a human being, a devotee sees them in relation to Govinda. Govindamadi Purusham. Govinda is the original source of everything. Ishvara Paramakrishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. Krishna, who is known as Govinda, is the supreme controller. He has an eternal, blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin, for he is the prime cause of all causes. Brahma Samhita 5.1. The test of a perfect devotee is that he sees everywhere in this universe, even in every atomic particle. Andantarastha paramanu chayantarastham. This is the perfect vision of a devotee. It is therefore said, Narayanam ayam dhira pashyanti paramarthinah jagat dhanmayam lubdaha kamukha kamini. A devotee sees everyone and everything in relationship with Narayan. Narayanam mayam. Everything is an expansion of Narayana's energy. Just as those who are greedy see everything as a source of money making, and those who are lusty see everything as being conducive to sex, the most perfect devotee, Prahlad Maharaj, saw Narayan even within a stone column. This does not mean, however, that we must accept the words Daridra Narayan, which have been manufactured by some unscrupulous person. One who actually envisions Narayan everywhere makes no distinction between poor and the rich. To single out Daridra Narayanas or poor Narayana and reject Dhani Narayana or rich Narayana is not the vision of a devotee. Rather, that is the imperfect vision of materialistic persons. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाखय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथं वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरे वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तविंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम् Hare Krishna. So we are thank you to all the devotees for joining for today's morning Shrimad Bhagavatam class. So we are coming to the end of this chapter when what Prahlad learned in the womb. This is the last verse. So we've seen uh, instructions or teachings of Prahlad Maharaj to his schoolmates. And this verse, Etavan eva lokesmin pumsah swarthah parasmritah एकांत भक्तिर गोविंदे यत सर्वत्र तदीक्षणम. Translation again: in this material world, to render service to the lotus feet of Govinda, ekanta bhaktir govinde, cause of all causes, and to see him everywhere, yat sarvatra tadikshanam, is the only goal of life. That is parasmritaha etavan eva lokesmin. This much alone is the ultimate goal of human life, as explained by all revealed scriptures. So, if we look at this whole chapter, so in the beginning, Shri Prahlad Maharaj is giving, when being asked by his friends, we are in same school, we are of same age, but you seem to be speaking something very different than what we have been taught. So then Prahlad Maharaj tells that how he had heard all this from Shinarad Muni in the womb of his mother Kayadu. So the whole instance he narrates. And then if we see this whole chapter, Prahlad Maharaj very beautifully is narrating. I was thinking uh, the teachings. So sometimes we are supposed to present a subject matter. So here he is supposed to present a subject matter to somebody who are totally, like, first of all, they are children. In last discussion we had discussed that how when a child speaks philosophy, then it is very, very captivating. So here Prahlad Maharaj is speaking, and to someone who have no understanding of devotional service. But his presentation in this chapter and previous chapter is very systematic. So first of all, Prahlad Maharaj gives his own example of how he got benefited by hearing from Narad Muni. And then he gives knowledge about soul, Atma Tattva. And then in this chapter, he talks about bhakti, but he uses both Anvayad and Vyatireka Abhyam. So he is using how bhakti is to be done. And then in some other sections in this chapter, he also talks about how material life is insubstantial. So bhakti is substantial, and material world, the happiness in this material world, the acts in this material world, they are all insubstantial. So both ways. And then in the end, he is kind of concluding in this last section where we saw beautiful verses where he is saying that how bhakti, he's urging his friends, his school friends, his classmates, that you should all take up to bhakti. And then he's giving very beautiful verses in this whole section where he's relating that he's the most auspicious condition is to be situated in devotional service. One cannot please Mukunda by being a Brahmana, by a sage, by being a Devta, etc., etc. And therefore take to bhakti, and everyone can perform bhakti. Yakshas, Rakshasas, women, Shudra, cowherd men, birds, animals, sinful living entities yesterday was discussed. And then he's saying this, he says, is the ultimate goal of life. Etavan eva lokesmin. In that mood, pumsa swartha parasmritaha. Ekanta bhaktir govinde yat sarvatra tat ikshanam. So in that mood, he is very systematically taking from presenting this bhakti is substantial, and this everything in this material world we do is actually insubstantial. So proving from both sides that how taking to bhakti, taking to devotional service, even though you may be very young, even though you may be very from a demonic family, this is not what is told in our families, but still in all respects, taking to bhakti is the most perfect thing to do. And otherwise, it is just waste of time, all other activities. Without bhakti, it's waste. So, a very systematic presentation, I thought. And then when we read this verse is very similar to another verse in Bhagavatam. Anybody knows which verse? Another verse comes in Shrimad Bhagavatam, which has. So in 6th canto, 3rd chapter, which is Ajamil section, similar verse comes. The first two lines are almost same. 6th canto, 3rd chapter, 22nd verse. There also it says, Etavan eva lokesmin pumsam dharma parah smritaha. So in the second line, instead of pumsam, where it is mentioned swartha parasmritaha, there it says pumsam dharma parasmritaha. And then last two lines again talks about, because that section is talking about chanting of the holy names. So it ends with that. Bhakti yogo bhagavati tannama grahanadibihi. So that's how it ends. Etaman eva lokesmin pumsam dharma parasmritah bhakti yogo bhagavati tannama grahanadibi. So there also the highlight or the instruction is that what is etaman eva lokesmin in this world, Pumsam dharma parasmrita. What is for the living entities? The dharma is bhakti yogo bhagavati. And from where it starts? Bhakti yoga tannama grahanadibhi. By chanting of the holy names. That bhakti which is starts with chanting of the holy names. So that is also there. Here it's mentioned Ekanta Bhaktir Govinde Yat Sarvatra Tadikshanam. So same chanting of the holy name should is what will lead to bhakti, ekanta bhaktir govinde, or here bhakti yogo bhagavati. And what is the effect of one who is engaged in chanting the holy names? What is the effect of one who is doing ekanta bhakti to Lord Govinda? Yat sarvatra tat ikshanam. He sees his Lord everywhere. Yat sarvatra tad ikshanam. He sees his Lord everywhere. And then Prabhupada is quoting the famous verse Sthavara jangama dekhi na dekhe tara murti sarvatra haya nija ishtadeva spurti. So sthavara jangama. Sthavar is non-moving, immobile. Jangama, which is moving. Dekhi, he sees immovable things, he sees movable things. Na dekhe tara murti, but he does not see their murti or their form. What does he see? Sarvatra haya nija ishta deva spurti. Everywhere at all times he is having nija ishta deva spurti. He is always remembering his supreme Lord. So he is not seeing the forms of this world, but he is seeing Krishna. So Prabhupada is highlighting that in the purport. So we thought we can take this theme. How can we see Krishna everywhere? So this is something which is ekanta bhaktir govinde. This happens automatically, spontaneously when we have pure devotional service, ekanta bhaktir. So let's see various pastimes and various instances in Bhagavatam where devotees saw or seeing Krishna. So then in deity form. So let's see first some of the aspects where we, uh, which are part of our devotional practice. So in deities, so we see Sakshi Gopal pastime from Chaitanya Charitamrita. So there it mentions Pratima nahi tumi sakshat Vrajendra Nandana. So you are not Pratima. You are not just Pratima nahi tumi. You are not some just Pratima or some stone or etc. But you are Sakshat Vrajendra Nandan. So there, those who are having no faith. So the older Brahmana's son, he does not have any faith on Krishna. So therefore, he says when they call the sabha and they say there was no witness. So then the younger Brahmana say, no, we have witness. We have Gopal as witness. So he says, okay, you bring you if you bring Gopal, then we'll accept. So that means no faith. He felt that how will Gopal come? And he's just a murti. So he will never come. But then the young Brahmana has full faith and he goes all the way from South India to again Vrindavan, and then he says to Gopal that you have to come. So that faith in seeing in deities also that Krishna is personally present is not just Vigraha, is not just some stone or wood, etc., metal. Another uh, pastime, same of Gopal, where Madhavendra. So for Madhavendra in 3 times in dreams, Lord comes, and then he has full faith that Lord is personally present in Gopal deity. So he's working so hard to fulfill the desire of Krishna of Gopal. God Gopal tells you go and get Chandan. So somebody will say, oh, deities whether they anything they feel, but he goes and then when Lord tells that no you apply this chandan to now Gopinath Shirachor, so he is willing to do that also. So in deity form also Lord is personally present. We see Pratima nahi tumi sakshat Vrajendra Nandan in holy name. So when we are chanting the holy name, Lord is present in holy name. Abhannitvat Ramanamino. So that aspect. So example of Draupadi can be taken. So Draupadi, when she was in Asat Sabha and she was in such miserable condition where her chastity or is at stake, so she just called out Govinda, Damodara, Madhava, and that holy name, just by chanting the holy names, the holy names protected Draupadi by supplying the sari. So that is why in chanting of the holy names, Lord is present. We can see Lord's presence that is mentioned. Then we can think about Hari Katha. So when we are uh, hearing Hari Katha, Lord is present. We can see Krishna in Hari Katha. So some examples where devotees saw Lord in Hari Katha. Any examples? Just by hearing, they got felt presence of Krishna. Any examples? Any examples are there? Huh? Or Ram? Okay, when Love Kush is singing, so Lord Ram is feeling that Ram Katha is my own Katha is better than mine. Okay, fine. Anything else? Huh? Okay. There are many poets who are chanting. Anything from Bhagavatam? Any examples? Gopis. Which particular episode, Prabhuji? When Krishna? Okay, when Krishna left them during the Rasa dance. So fine gopis also are seeing or they are remembering all the different pastimes. They're enacting the pastimes of Krishna. Somebody is becoming Putna, somebody is becoming Krishna, etc. Rukmani Devi's example comes. So Rukmani Devi never saw Krishna, but she just heard about Krishna. Shrutva gunan bhuvana sunvata shinvatamte. She just heard from various sages who would visit Kundalinipur, and just by hearing she developed she felt presence of Krishna in those Hari Katha. Just by hearing, and she could feel Krishna is present in that, and then she says, my heart is lost to by because just by hearing him, all hara angatapam. So that mood, that Rukmani Devi is seeing Krishna in Hari Katha. Another example is of Brahman Patnis. It's mentioned Brahman Patnis also never saw Krishna. They had just heard about Krishna from those who would be visiting in their village. But just by hearing about Krishna, they saw Krishna in their midst. And when the Gopals, the cowherd friends of Krishna, they visited, saying that, oh, Krishna and Balram are here and they're hungry. So they were so eager to take whatever they have. So the Brahman Patnis and Rukmani Devi's example comes from Srimad Bhagavatam. There are others also. Even that the fruit vendor, etc. They had also. She just heard about Krishna, and then so we saw how we can see Krishna in deity form. We can see Krishna in the holy name. We can see Krishna in Hari Katha. We can also see Krishna in devotees. So any examples where Krishna is seen in devotees from Srimad Bhagavatam? Yes, bro. Rantidev. So Rantidev is seeing whoever is coming, he's seeing Krishna's presence or how he can serve them and please Krishna. Okay, Rantidev. Anything else? Anyone else? Any other examples? Actually, it's mentioned that Parikshit Maharaj, when Shukdev Goswami comes, so he says that, oh, Krishna has personally come by your presence, Shukdev Goswami. And even when Rahugan Maharaj and Jad Bharat pastime happens, So then Rahugan Maharaj is first of all very, very being very showing his superiority. But then when he realizes, oh, he is not an ordinary person, he is somebody special devotee of the Lord, then he says, oh, he can see Krishna's presence and he starts worshipping. He just jumps out of his palki and he caught hold. You are not some ordinary person. So then in devotees also, so in our life also, Krishna's presence can be felt in the form of devotees' presence. So that way we see Krishna. Then this is in general, like these are some devotional practices. Somebody who saw Krishna in calamity, even when calamity strikes, in that also we see Krishna. Huh? Kunti Maharani, Vipada, huh? Vitrasur, Vipada Shantu Tat Shashvat, Tatra Tatra Jagadguru, Bhavato Darshanam Yat Syada Parvat. Prahlad Maharaj, so Vitrasur, even Parikshit Maharaj. When Parikshit Maharaj, the calamity strikes on him, he sees, oh, it is Krishna's uh, special, he's specially playing a part so that I can be relieved of my government responsibility. So in calamity also, you see, in upheavals, when there is upheaval in our life, how can we see Krishna? Any examples? Vidurji, when the Duryodhan used such harsh words, so then Vidurji was pained in heart, but then he could see. He said, "Oh, this is a good opportunity to now leave this whole kingdom who I have been serving very dutifully." And we also see Vibhishan. He also sees in upheaval Krishna or Ram's presence. And we see Srila Prabhupada also in upheaval in his life. So he was thinking, why I am doing so much to serve, to please, or follow the instructions of my Guru Maharaj. But then still there is challenges coming. Then Prabhupada comes across that verse. Which verse? Yasyaham anugrehnami harishye tad dhanam shane. That yasyaham, special mercy. Then I take away everything. So that mood, that upheaval is also we can see presence of Krishna. So that way, in all spheres of life, in all aspects of life, for a sadhaka, in deities, in holy name, in Harikatha, in devotees, in calamities, in upheavals, tadikshanam sarvatra. Then at all places and items also in this world, we can see Krishna. So for sadhaka, how does he see in all places and items? By principle of yukta vairagya. Like Prabhupada and our Acharya Srila Rup Goswami is saying, yukta vairagya. Krishna sambandhe, you see things in relation to Krishna. So that is how we see Krishna's energy in action, how it can be used in Krishna's service. Yad yad vibhuti mat sattvam, how Krishna's vibhuti is present in whatever we see, whatever is of value, whatever is of importance. So there we see Krishna's presence. So for sadhaka, he can, oh, this is Krishna's energy, it should be engaged in Krishna's service. So that way, like once Prabhupada was asked by one of the devotees, disciples, Prabhupada, how do I see Krishna everywhere or remember Krishna all the time? So Prabhupada gave the example of, yeah, he says, if you see my specs, who do you remember? So that is why I remember you, Srila Prabhupada. So Prabhupada said, similarly, if you see anything in this world, you remember who? You should remember, oh, this is Krishna's energy. It has to be, it is, Krishna is the source, Krishna is the origin. So therefore, it should remind us of Krishna. So for sadhaka, he can or she can see in relation to Krishna's energy. It is Krishna's energy and it has to be now engaged in Krishna's service. So that way one can see Krishna in all places and all items. For gopis, their seeing of Krishna is very spontaneous. Wherever they see Krishna. So it is not just seeing Krishna's energy, they see Krishna personally present. So when they see Tamal tree, they are reminded, oh, this is Krishna. When they see cloud, they see Krishna. Oh, and if we see, they see blue lotus, they see, oh, this is Krishna. So this anything they see, they don't see that thing, but they are reminded of Krishna. In many places in Bhagavatam, like if you go through Venugeet section, so they are just whatever is their thought process. They see a deer. They are thinking deer are acting because of they had just heard the flute of Krishna. Oh, the water bodies, the devtas, etc., etc. So everyone is they are seeing their mood reflected everywhere. Why? Because they are spontaneously in love with Krishna. So much attraction for Krishna. So they are seeing Krishna's presence everywhere. Same we see in the example of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also he is in Radharani's mood. So he also, especially in the last 12 years, he was in Jagannath Puri, so he was in internal mood. So he would see anything and he will start thinking, oh, where is Krishna? He would see Chatak Parvat and he will be reminded of Govardhan, Govardhan past. And he will see the ocean, he will jump thinking it is Yamuna. So wherever the devotee sees, he sees Krishna's presence. So that is how one can learn to see Krishna in all places. Prabhupada says, even in this material world, a devotee does not see materially manifested things. Instead, he sees Govinda in everything. He sees Govinda in everything. When he sees a tree or human being, a devotee sees them in relation to Govinda. So he is not seeing the Sthavara Jangama, he is seeing Krishna, my worshipper Lord is present there. And then Prabhupada gives the test of a perfect devotee is how we will know whether we are advancing in Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada says the test of a devotee is that he sees Govinda everywhere in this universe, even in every small atomic particle. So, even an atomic particle. And then Prabhupada is quoting this verse Narayanam ayam dhiraha pashyanti paramarthinaha. So one who is dhira, one who is devoted, Narayana ayam, he sees everything. Pashyanti paramarthina, he sees everything in relation to Narayan. And then there are two analogies which are given. Jagat dhana mayam lubdaha, one who is always greedy, he sees dhanam, where will I make money? How will I make profit? He sees a tree, he starts calculating how much money I will gain by selling this tree, or what are the things we can make. Or if he sees land, he sees how much money I can make. So, one who is lubdaha, one who is greedy to make money, he sees in every act, in every action, in every item, how can I make money? And another example is mentioned Kamukaha Kamani Mayam. So one who is Kamukha, one who is lusty, Kamini Mayam, he sees how can in everything, in every object, in every person, he is seeing how can I fulfill my lust in that. So he is not seeing the person or the thing, but he is seeing how this can satisfy my vasana. So for him or her, the person or the object is not there. It is object of my enjoyment. That is the focus. So he sees does not see the person. He sees a person as an object of my enjoyment. So like that. So that is what is mentioned. And then Prabhupada says Prahlad Maharaj saw even Krishna in a stone column, and Krishna was personally present. So that is how, for a devotee in all circumstances, he can see Krishna. So, from deities to holy name, to devotees, to Hari Katha, to calamities, to upheavals, and in all places and items, by seeing it as energy of Krishna in relation to Krishna. So that is the mood of a devotee. So even in our bhajan, like we engage in as sadhakas, we have our bhajan. So in our bhajan also, we need to remember to see Krishna. We can start with that. Everywhere will happen if we first start seeing Krishna in our bhajan, or we start making a conscious effort to remember Krishna while doing our bhajan. So when I am doing my bhajan, when I am chanting the holy names, when I am reading Shrimad Bhagavatam, when I am in association of devotees, in that Krishna's presence I can remember. So we can start with that. Then seeing everywhere will happen slowly, slowly, but at least when we are doing our bhajan, in that if we can remember Krishna, then that is very good. So that way we can always be Krishna conscious. So I was thinking, even like acharyas, our acharyas, they also are always remembering Krishna and seeing that which is anukul as remembering or reminding them of Krishna. So just this bhajan, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, where he writes that how what is anukul for bhajan, that I remember. Today's Ekadashi also. So that generally this bhajan they sing. शुद्ध भक्त चरण रेणु भजनानुकूला शुद्ध भक्त चरण रेणु भजनानुकूला भक्त सेवा परमा सिद्धि प्रेमालतिकार मूल परमा सिद्धि प्रेमालतिकर मूल माधव तिथि भक्ति जननी जतने पालन कोरी माधव तिथि भक्ति जननी जतने पाल कृष्ण बसती बसती बोली परम आदर बोरी गोरा मारे जे सब स्थाने कोरोला भ्रमण रंगे সেই সব স্থানা হেরিব আমি प्रणीय भकत संगे से सब मृदंग वाद्य सुनीते मन अप्सर सदा जाचे जुगल मूर्ति देखिया मोरा परम आनंद होया। प्रसाद सेवा कोरिते होया सकल प्रपंच जा। ते गोलोक भाया। चरण सीधु देखिया गंगा सुख न सीमा पाया। तुलसी देखी जुराय प्राण माधव तोषणि जानी। गौर प्रिय शाक सेवन जीवन सार्थक मानी। भक्ति विनोद कृष्ण भजने अनुकूल पाय जा। प्रतिदिवसे परम सुखे स्वीकार कोरियता। शुद्ध भक्त चरण रेणु भजन अनुकूल। अनुकूल भक्त सेवा परम सिद्धि प्रेमलति करमूला। So like that, in this way, we can always, as it's mentioned, yet sarvatra tadikshanam. We can see Krishna's presence everywhere. Govinda's presence everywhere, in all situations, in all places, in each and every item. If we have ekanta bhaktir, if we have unalloyed devotional service, and Prabhupada said that is the test for a devotee. He sees Krishna in all situations. Hare Krishna. So today we discussed on how Prahlad Maharaj is having very systematic approach in presenting the teachings to his friends. And this verse has a similar mood to another verse from 6th canto. Etavan eva lokespin pumsa dharma parasmitah bhakti yogo bhagvati tannama grahanadibhi. So that is there. And then also how we can see Krishna's presence everywhere, starting from the deities, from holy name, the Hari Katha, the devotees, calamities to upheavals, and everywhere in all items. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Anybody has any comments or questions? जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय।